And we're live.
This is a fun one with Arian on the show. Oh, so we have a Patreon level where you can ask questions and we talk about it on the show. At what age do you want to retire, and what does retirement mean to you?
That's heavy. Me first?
If you want, I can go.
Whoever's got that, sounds like you've got one.
Here's the thing about what we do, though, right? You know, like we're not working a 9 to 5 here. I really enjoy what we're doing right here, right now, and I like doing stuff on the internet. When hypothetical 65-year-old Kyle is pumping up, taking his testosterone injections, he's probably also going to be like playing Halo 27 or something and like live streaming it or something like that, right? I like the kind of gig that we've backed into here, and so like the kind of like and then what do you do when you retire, right? Like again, that really means something for a 9 to 5 guy. It's like, huh, no more 9 to 5. Now I can travel the world. But when you're working on the internet, like I've been on a couple vacations in the last couple months, and I just bring my setup with me and we do it from there. It doesn't really hold me back as long as you've got okay internet and everything and electricity and all that stuff. So it's a weird one for people like us. But like if I were a 9 to 5 guy working as, I don't know, a CPA or something like that, like as early as possible, right? You want to be able to enjoy some like vacationing or financial freedom or travel or something like that when you're still physically all there, right? Like you don't want to be 70 and like you go on that European vacation you always wanted to go on, but you really can't enjoy it now. Now it's kind of risky swimming in whatever the Mediterranean or wherever you wanted to go. Now it's just too long to hike up the Pyrenees or whatever your dream little trip was. So in that case, I feel like you want to try to get out at 50, but it's just so hard to do right now. I saw that statistic today. I don't remember where I saw it, but they were saying that General Motors used to be the largest employer in this country, and they paid the equivalent of $50 an hour. And now Walmart is, and they pay what, like $7 an hour. So it's and then of course the disparity, like the population's getting so much older now. There are way more people who are older than there used to be because of advances in medical science and healthcare programs and all that stuff. Baby boom, of course. But it's a weird question. I think for us in particular. But I don't think there'd ever be a time where I just didn't want to do anything. Like I don't get that.
Yeah.
I feel like most people spend their entire lives saving up their money, and what they want to buy is their time, right? That you could call it their freedom if you want to. You want to own your own schedule. And that's what retirement is to me, right? What Kyle described is kind of like retirement already. He gets to wake up when he wants to and do what he wants to that day. These 2 or 3 obligations a week, the show. And outside of that, Kyle owns all his time. I do too. I like it. In terms of like, Kyle says, I never want to not do anything. And I feel like aside from hobbies, kind of don't do a lot. I'm wired to get really passionate about my hobbies, but aside from that, I'm digging it. I feel like I've retired and I'm awesome at it.
That's exactly what my mom said. Like I retired her, and she's like, I'm not doing shit, and I'm proud of it. And and I think that's all right to me, because I think as human beings, like, we're all just trying to find our own little source of happiness, and whatever that is, like, that's at the end of the day, that's all we're all trying to do, is like, how can I go be the happiest? Where can I find that? So whatever that is, man.
It's funny, on the side, Chiz wrote boring. No, I woke up, I went to 3,000 feet, collapsed my glider multiple times, right? Twisted up, he said, not you, Woody. The world's largest swing set, destroyed, and then rebuilt. Brought 2 reserves, because that shit's dangerous. And then I came on land, taught new people how to fly. We covered safety today. We looked frame by frame at people who nearly drowned, more people who nearly drowned, people who hit power lines, like guys who lost fingers, and talked about like what led to it. And this is my cup of tea, right? This is my idea of a really cool day. And then I do the show here, and this is the life I aspire to live.
As you should, Woody. As you should. I think kind of along the same lines, man. I think if you do the things that you love, you never really it's not work. I mean, that's an old like cookie cutter fortune cookie answer, but it's really the truth. Like I said earlier, like I've been doing so I've never been more busy in my life, but I've never been more fulfilled either. Like even before, like when I was playing football, like I love football, but it just felt like a job after a while. It really did, because you spent day after day doing things that had nothing to do with actually playing football. You only got to play it 16 times a year, which is a very small portion of your time. So after retirement, I just get to dive into all of these things that I really love to do. Granted, I have the luxury of not having to worry about if I get paid for them or not. But I like looking back, I would do this shit if I was getting paid for it or not, because it just fulfills me. So I feel like if people go out and do fulfilling work, it's just a better.
Yeah, you're just happier.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I see it. It's like the whole, I don't care if it's like a job or just like a hobby or something, but once you retire, you've got to do something. Like I feel like men especially, like will go from like, all right, I'm 52 and I'm gonna retire, and then by like 55, it's like, Jesus, like you've aged 15 years. Like there's something about no longer pursuing or trying to get something done. Doesn't even have to be necessarily productive. Could just be a hobby you're trying to master. Like it's really important to be doing that stuff, like keeping your mind young.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would see it. I'd like to retire by the time I'm 50s. Yeah,
I think we find us a lot of self-worth in our work.
Definitely.
Is that healthy though?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. When people feel worth in what they're doing, they're more likely to work hard. Like they're more likely to kind of make it part of themselves. And when you make it part of yourself, you're a success in that avenue of life is a success individually, and it is like a repeating cycle.
Yeah. I take a lot of worth in my ability to build some system that better routes customer support customers to the right agent. Really? You're making someone else's dream come true. There's someone on top who's like, all right, that jackass made my support
I think that
3% better.
Family and self-improvement are much better things to be, using to make you feel good about your efforts, I think, than necessarily, especially a 9 to 5. And there are 1,000 different 9 to 5s, right? But then some of them you can go home at the end of the day and be like, I did good today. Like, I mean, if you're a nurse or maybe you're a lawyer and you help someone, or like whatever you're doing, if you're helping people, or if you're, I don't know, progressing science, or you're exploring, or you're doing something that's for the betterment of mankind or something like that, that you could come home and take a lot of pride in that. But shit, what if you're, I don't know, a janitor? Or what if you're a mall cop who makes fart?
Well, then you're not going to retire ever. So this isn't a question for you. Unless you can monetize those farts into ringtones, this isn't going anywhere.
I mean, he has 41,000 followers on Instagram. He keep doing what he's doing. He got a little career.
Yeah,
jeez, $1 a fart and he'll be good to go.
But that's kind of like the drawback from like capitalism, though. Is somebody's got to lose. That's just a shitty reality of the
people do have to lose, but they lose in a way that they still are better off usually than the loser counterpart in other systems, even though obviously not everything is perfect with capitalism by a long shot.
Right. No, I agree. Capitalism is the best system that we've created. It's just the holes in it leave.
There's people who will never succeed because there's limited numbers of people who could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that's the natural part of anything, though. Like anything that's merit-based, or and of course not everything is merit-based. There's a lot of nepotism in certain ways, but there's always going to be that elite upper crust. And I think that's how it's always been, how it's always going to be.
Right.